Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we're going to be actually going over the Nero tier list. That's something that we do now. Every time Pridewin puts out the rankings for the tier list, we actually just review it and then see what they think. Because I do think Pridewin does a good job at ranking these characters, right? Especially since, I don't know if they do, but I'm assuming like there's multiple people that like decide the tiers of a character, right? Not just one. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know, but yeah. But before we get into all that stuff, if you guys go to your mailbox, they actually gave out compensation of a multi, or not a multi, half a multi on like advanced recruit vouchers, 1,000 gems, 24 hour cases, 80 ultra boost modules, and then also darling for a day tickets, right? Now, before we get into all this stuff, let me actually just address something, right? Because this is like the second or third time where this has happened, right? Now, if you dislike, you know, myself or any other YouTuber, that's by all means, right? We can't really do anything about that, right? But I recommend in the future, for anybody of you guys watching that dislikes me personally, I'm not speaking for other YouTubers, right? I would highly recommend if you share the opinions you have, like, regarding me, if you share it with me, right? Because I need feedback like that to become one of the best Nikke YouTubers I can possibly be, right? If you guys have a problem with me, like, this is another issue where in my Discord server, somebody would link me a video, tell me read the comments, and then you guys are having a whole nother war in another like YouTuber's video comment section, right? And it becomes troublesome for that YouTuber as well, right? Or whatever YouTuber it is. But you guys are having a war there about, you know, people are defending me, people are not defending me, people are defending another YouTuber, people are not defending another YouTuber, people are defending this YouTuber, not defending this. Like, it becomes quite weird and annoying when you're sharing opinions you dislike about a YouTuber with another YouTuber, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't do that. By all means, go ahead if that makes you happy, but it's like they just don't care, right? What business do they have caring, right? And the same goes for me, right, chat? I get comments all the time of other, like, you guys disliking other YouTubers, right? If you dislike other YouTubers, like I said, I can't do nothing about that, but don't share that information with me because I just don't care, right? But yes, if you do have a problem with me or any other YouTuber, I highly recommend to take it to us, right, directly, right, so that we can improve. We will never be able to improve for you guys if or at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, but I will never be able to improve for you guys if I don't get the direct comments, right? It's a very, very annoying that I have to go to another YouTuber's video and see you guys are having a war about other YouTubers, right, including myself, right? So just, that's a little PSA from now on. Take it or leave it, but I highly recommend, please share it with me so that I can fix it. I want to become one of the best Nikke YouTubers I possibly can be, and I won't be able to do that if every time y'all have something bad to say about me, y'all are sharing it with another YouTuber. Share it with me. I'm not gonna dislike you or anything like that. You can't expect everyone to like you. Can't expect everyone to hate you, right? It is what it is, right? It's just how it goes. But definitely share it with me, please, right? So anyways, back to the original video. Now, of course, Nero is a character who finally got her ranking from Pridewin, right? So we're gonna take a look here, right? And if you notice, you know, she's kind of ranked high. So what does that say now? Because I've always said that Nero was a good character only if you have Rapunzel. If you don't, then she's not really that great. And based off these tiers, you can see she's quite decently ranked. S, A, S, A, S, A, S, and then B tier, right? So let's take a look at the pros and cons, and then we'll go over it, right? So yeah, the beast fee. I'm so stupid. The beefiest tank in the game that can survive nearly anything thrown at her. Literally, chat. But she can only be, this is the pro. I like what they say. This is what I love about Pridewin, bro. They just tell you the truth, right? The stunning, like, if you dislike Nero, there's not, like, what? Don't hate Nero, right? There's no way, right? Like, the beefiest tank in the game that can survive nearly anything thrown at her. I've showcased this multiple times, hence why I do all these videos on here, right? I showcase that she's the beefiest, but there's a restriction. We're gonna get to that part in a second. taunts for days, damage taken buff that gives her some nice utility. This is all very true about her. But the cons are, requires to be babysit by a healer to actually work. And I'm glad they said a healer, but the healer they mean is Rapunzel, right? I'm glad that they said a healer and not healers, because there's a big difference there. Yes, there are healers that work. I know Pepper works with her as well, but there's no reason to use Pepper, there's no reason to use Pepper, but like I would highly recommend using Rapunzel over any other healer, because with Pepper, there's still requirements under her where you're forced to use her manually to get her to work, right? And then she also needs to burst activate her taunt. Now, that's not too much of a problem, I don't think, because if she's your main burst too, it's gonna happen regardless. But like, it's only gonna this is only really gonna matter if you have 2 burst 2s on your team, right? If we're comparing her to Ludmilla, right? Ludmilla gets her taunt when you enter a full burst, and to get to a full burst, you have to use a burst 1, a burst 2, and then a burst 3. It's kind of the same thing with this character. You just have to use her burst, and then you're in a full burst. So it's kind of the same thing as Ludmilla if she's the only burst 2 on the team, technically. But if you have 2 burst 2s on the team, then that makes sense, right? Like this matters. But she also does increase her healing potency. I noticed they didn't say anything about that here, right? So, but I like how they said here, requires to be babysit by a healer to actually work. And this is the biggest thing about her. Now, I'm surprised that they actually still gave her a high tier. I'm going to actually read this stuff here. But I'm surprised they actually gave her pretty nice tiers, knowing that she has to be babysat with a healer. For me, when I did my tiers, I gave her a high B tier because I wasn't considering her with Rapunzel. I would say she's A in early story, S in solo boss, A in boss, S in, well, not, I don't know what PvP, to be honest, I wouldn't say that about PvP. But I would say these tiers are accurate if you have Rapunzel with her, right? That's what I would say personally. But I guess they I'm assuming that they included Rapunzel's, what's it called? Like her being paired up with Rapunzel. That's what these rankings are based off. That's what I'm going to assume, right? So NERO'S a burst 2 SMG wielder that can taunt all enemies on the field and keep herself alive really well. Her skill 1 is pretty interesting. Her skill 1, a pretty interesting skill that requires Nero to be healed in return. She will decrease the damage taken by whoever healed her, but also decrease the damage taken she takes herself. This means that you need to pair Nero with a healer to activate the skill, right? I hopefully mentioned like the issue with the skill 1, right? So, skill 2 of Nero drastically needs her own max HP. What? Drastically increases her own max HP the moment she enters the battle, and this buff makes her the highest HP tank in the whole game. I like how they bolded that as well, right? The second part to that skill is a bit RNG dependent. Whenever Nero gets hit, she can increase the damage taken by the enemies who dare to attack her, and furthermore, she can also deal the damage to whoever she is attacking while under the effect of her skill 1 buff. Overall, it's a very strong skill, right? And this is why I was saying, with healers, very, very good. Like, no matter how much you want to disagree, when you have her with Rapunzel, she's just factually good. Increasing your max HP by damn near not even by 60%, increasing your damage reduction by 40 something percent, and taunting. Chat, she's pretty damn good when you get everything going. But the problem is you need a specific healer, right? NERO'S burst has a 20-second cooldown, which makes her very flexible. Makes her a very flexible burst 2 character that can be used in a variety of teams. The skill consists of 3 elements. Nero will deal damage to one enemy. Nero will taunt all enemies for 15 seconds, which combined with the 20-second cooldown means that she can have a great uptime on her taunt. Very true. And then Nero will buff herself and increase the healing received. Very, very true. I didn't even mention that. So she's increasing her max HP. She's taunting. She has a massive damage reduction at 40%. And then she's also increasing the heal received. Like, there's no way that you're looking at that and not saying, damn, what a tank. right? The issue is that you need to be able to keep Nero alive by constantly feeding her with heals, or the 15-second taunt will be her early grave. Okay, very true, right? Because you need the damage reduction. You're not just gonna taunt and not have any type of damage reduction. There's only so much max HP increase can do, right? It's so much beneficial since it's with the damage reduction, but there's just so much that a massive HP buff can do, right? Overall, Nero is the beefiest tank in the game. Highest effective HP, meaning that at full HP with all her buffs, she can tank massive hits. At level 7 skills, her effective HP is twice of Noise's. However, she relies on healers to activate those buffs and heal. The only option you have for PvE is Pepper and Rupee. I assume they mean Rapunzel. Are Pepper and Rapunzel. While for PvP, you can get away with Biscuit and Rapunzel, right? Rapunzel, right? Now Biscuit, the thing is with Biscuit, it's gonna work with Biscuit because she does get below 50%, but you're only gonna get one stack, right? But you can see how they say in PvE and PvE the best options are Rapunzel and someone else, right? So clearly Rapunzel is just the best option with her, which I already knew the moment I read her skills, right? Even before testing, right? Because I know how every healer works in the game. I read this skit. I know how kits work. Chat, it's very simple. You when you play the game, chat, you will know how these things go. It's very simple, right? You don't need to be a YouTuber or anything to understand how a game works, to be honest, right? With enough investment in Pepper and Nero can actually survive the entire game, only relying on Pepper's heals, right? Now, the thing is, he said, or they said, with enough investments in Pepper and Nero can actually survive the entire game. Now, the thing is, with Rapunzel, you don't need to have that massive investment in Pepper, because Pepper, remember, only heals one ally. Now, most of the time, that one ally will be Nero because she's taunting and she has the damage reduction and stuff like that. And Pepper heals off your percentage of your HP, not like who has the lowest number, right? So 9 times out of 10, yes, she will be healing Nero because she does taunt. But, for example, when it comes to that damage reduction and an enemy who does an AoE attack, then that's where Pepper, it becomes a bit iffy for Pepper. Because now she has to individually heal everybody first before she can get back to Nero, because Nero's HP, her max HP is already the highest, and then her damage reduction has tanked her more than everybody else on your team, right? So you have to consider simple things like that, where with Rapunzel, she's doing the same thing as Pepper, but it's 3 characters, right? And every time you use a full charge, so it's more effective, right? So I'm glad that they did mention here and there about like her only working with these specific healers. But yeah, I do think she's a very, very good character if you have the healer with her, right? That's just the truth. Regardless, she's not a bad character. If you read her kit, it's not a bad kit. The problem is there's no other healers besides Pepper and Rapunzel, right? And like the original Mary. I know nobody's really talking about it, but if you have privity with the original Mary, you can actually get it working for Nero as well, right? And same as Idol Ocean. I actually tested that on live. But yeah, like it's a bit sad that she needs a healer to work with her. That's the biggest giveaway about the character. But if you read the kit, yes, she's a good character. I don't care how much you dislike or like this character. Yeah, she's a good character. The only problem with her is that you need a healer, right? And like I said in my video when I first addressed this, I don't think this is a bug whatsoever. All right, I told you guys, I don't think we should go to Nikke and just rage every time they make a character like iffy or whatever. It's how it's meant to be. I explained it in my live stream and then the follow-up video. Like I explained it multiple times, right? So if you still don't understand, then I just don't know what more we can tell you, honestly, as a community. But yes, she's good if you have a healer, right? As a taunt, as a tank. When it comes to her doing her job, she might be one of the best if you have a healer. Increasing your max HP, increasing the HP healing, increasing your damage reduction, and taunting. Very nice combination. But in order to get all of that, you need the one healer. That's the problem. So you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous. Make sure you guys subscribe and like. Hopefully this video was entertaining or helpful for you guys to see another point of view that's not my opinion, even though we all came to the same conclusion. Right? I promise you, everybody has come to the same conclusion. She's good if you have a healer. And not even if you have a healer, if you have Rapunzel. Like, everybody's come to that conclusion, right? So you guys let me know what you think, bro. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out later. Peace.